swag, no boots. Right. So here we have a 2015 Nissan Rogue. Now the issue with this one is the heater does not work, or it's not working right according to them. So here's the temperature controls, right? The one thing you want to make sure, if it's blowing cold and you change it to like a warm setting, make sure the temperature does change and does not stay cold, like really cold at all times. Or if it's on the hot side and it's always blowing hot, and then you change it to the cold and it's not changing over to cold, or it's not even changing to warm at all. Okay, so if there's no temperature change whenever you're going through the settings, most likely the heater box is stripped, right? And I'm going to show you what happens with these 2015s, 16s, 17s, 18 Rogues, maybe even 19. I'm sure there is a 19. But this body style of Nissan Rogues, they tend to strip out where the actuator goes for the temperature change. And to find out, you will need a Phillips, like a small little Phillips. See, these are Phillips. So you're gonna need like a little Phillips ratchet. I'll show you here in a bit. So basically, see, that's the actuator right there. Okay, so this goes inside the heater box, right? And so this turns either all the way to the left, to the right, whatever. It turns, and inside where this connects to, it's supposed to turn the inside of where this connects. It's supposed to turn it with it, okay? But the problem is the part of the heater box, it's stripped. So whenever this is turning, this is the only thing that's turning, because what the part of the heater box is rounded off and stripped. So I'm gonna go lay on my back and show you. So there it is, that white. Let me see if I can show you better, man. I'll find that. Okay, so you can see all that white residue, all that flaky. So that's where it goes in, okay? So the actuator is just spinning, but it's not actually turning that white part of the heater box, which changes the actual temperature. Now, to get to that and to find out if this is your issue, get that little flat, not the flat, but the Phillips ratchet. Okay, so pretend this is not hanging. Pretend that's not here. So you're gonna have this. Okay, so there's gonna be, so you're gonna have it like that, and you're gonna have this in the way. Okay, so back here, as you can see right there, that goes right there. Back here, there's a Phillips, right? So take off that Phillips, and then you want to push this over and get it over this metal part of the accelerator assembly. That way it holds it for you. And then there's going to be two screws. Okay, one goes here, one goes here. And then you just take those two Phillips off. Okay, you take those two off because it's going to be up here. And then you just pull it out, and then you're pretty much going to be left with this. Alright, so I'm going to show you, give you a better view. I actually have a heater box with me. So that's the heater box right there. And this is the actuator, right? So this is what's part of the heater box, okay? This style is different. So whenever this is turning, it's gonna turn, you see that shape? It's gonna turn this, see? And it's gonna open, you see that? Either open, close. It's just a mechanism that if you're turning it, it's gonna turn open, close. So that's pretty much kind of what it's doing for like the temperature. Okay, but this is probably for like the blend door actuator, going through the different modes of the way your air is supposed to blow, either from bottom floor, top floor, the defrost. But this is pretty much what's going on. Okay, so that part is what rounds off, so it doesn't even have that shape no more. So it rounds off, and then this is just spinning, and it's not even moving or changing any of the modes or settings. So that's what happens with these Rogues heater boxes. It is an expensive deal. So let's say you're because right now we're in Texas. I'm located in Rockwall, and it's a bit cold. So depending on where you're at, wherever you're watching from, where you're at, it's either cold or it's either hot. So if it's hot where you're at and it's not blowing cold, and you want it cold, obviously, and if you're somewhere where it's cold and you want it hot and it's not blowing hot, it's blowing cold, vice versa. And let's say you can't afford here's my setup. Let's say you can't afford this expensive heater box, or you need some time. Okay, so this is that little ratchet that I was talking about. Of course I'll link this, but let's say you really need this to blow cold or to blow hot, because depending on your situation, wherever you're at, what you want to do is take a flathead. Okay, this is just temporary, okay? Good person or lost one. What is for what the when I'm all done? Will I feel ashamed? La 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 la. Well, come over again, love. Have a taste of freedom. So grab yourself a flathead. Make sure it's a good thick one. And what you're gonna do is sneak the flathead and insert it into that little white slot like so, and then make sure you grab a good bite in it, and then you could turn it to the left or to the right. That way you change the temperature yourself manually. Okay, and that's just a tip. Right now it was blowing cold when they brought it in, and it's getting cold right now. So right now I have it at a warm / hot temperature. Of course, I'll ask the customer what they prefer. I could put it back to the cold however they want, but I'm just looking out for the customer because it is getting cold, in case they can't afford this expensive deal. So basically what's happening, what I'm doing down there is I'm grabbing this, and then I'm either turning it, you see that? Either left, right, whatever. Okay? But obviously it is going to be rounded off, so it will be a little bit hard to rotate that, but make sure you get a good bite in there. So this is for the people that are looking for my heater ain't working, or my AC is not blowing cold, my temperature will not change, it stays the same. So of course I'll make 3 separate videos with 3 different titles, so that way you guys all fall into the same video, because it's different situations but it's all the same issue. Okay, so pretty easy to diagnose. The expensive part is the labor or the heater box, I am not sure, but it's both an expensive deal. So yep, if you guys need to change the temperature ASAP, at least have it blowing hot if it's really cold where you're at, or change it to cold if it's really hot where you're at, or change it to hot if it's really cold, or change it to cold if it's really hot, whatever, you know what I mean. Go ahead and take a flathead and change it yourself. Be safe, stay warm or stay cold wherever you're at. Just go ahead and subscribe. I'm always working on Nissan cars. It's my specialty, so stay safe, guys.